The last supplementary of this question will go to the Honorable Groenewald.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable President, when you became the President of the Republic of South Africa, you said we are entering a new dawn and you declared war on corruption. Now, a couple of years down the line, we must hear that the ANC is accused number one. And it's no wonder, because you are also on record that you said that the interest of the ANC is actually above the interest of South Africa. When you announced the support package of 500 billion because of the COVID-19, you are on record, Honourable President, when you said, we will ensure that there is no misappropriation of these funds. By making that announcement, you created the message and the impression to the people of South Africa that you knew about the possibility of corruption and that you took certain measures. Now, my follow-up to you is, what measures did you have in mind and did you implement when you made this announcement to the people of South Africa? Because if you didn't have the measures there, then you misled the people of South Africa. I thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable Groenewald. The Honourable the President.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I do not, Honourable Groenewald, ever remember saying that the interests of the ANC are above the interests of South Africa. They certainly are not. South Africa comes first because that is the entity that we all pay our allegiance to. When I was sworn in as president, I was sworn in to advance the interests of the people of South Africa. And that is what I am committed to doing. I was not sworn in to advance the interests of a party. I was sworn in to advance the interests of the people of South Africa. What will I do to ensure that we have measures that are going to prevent corruption? And what measures did I have in mind? As we went into the process of setting aside this 500 billion, which, by the way, many people believe that the 500 billion, the entire 500 billion has been stolen. That is far from the truth. Far, far from the truth. What has actually been spent on PPEs, as per the Treasury records, is about 11 billion rand. And much of that money has gone into buying PPEs. And as the cases get reported, firstly to me, in terms of, how was the malfeasance, we will get to know precisely what the actual amounts of this malfeasance are. It is not 500 billion. I needed to clarify that. What measures did we have in mind? Yes, indeed, there were those who feared. Trade unions feared, the churches feared that, and various parties feared that there could be measures or acts of malfeasance. And they did express them publicly. It was not so much of what I feared myself, but it was expressed by many institutions in our country. And what measures did we take? I made sure that I go to that one institution that would be able to have great scrutiny, and that was the Auditor General. Went to the Auditor General and had a discussion with the Auditor General, and the Auditor General said that they have mechanisms of making sure that, yes, we do have a preventative type of approach. And indeed, the Auditor General's office has sought and tried to ensure that many of those that could have even gone worse were stopped along the way. But they did still happen. And they happened in a way that where people had contacts in various offices, contacts with certain people and all that, and it all seemed to be okay. And when it came to overpricing, it is something that should have been looked at more closely, but it wasn't. And yes, there was system failure when it came to that, but it is something that we have learned great lessons from. We've learned enormous lessons, and it is for this reason that I say we must take this COVID-19 moment as a moment when we now enter a new era in as far as dealing with corruption goes. It has cost us a lot, but at the same time, we need to say we are drawing the line in the sand, and we are now going to have a system where we have a procurement reform, where our reform process is completely different from what we have had, so that the thieves, the thugs, and those who want to corrupt do not find an easy way of being able to abuse state resources. So there was no misleading of the public on my part. I actually did make sure that we allocate the money, but having done so, to say that the money needs to be managed in as best a manner as we possibly can. And the mechanisms that we have in place, yes, some of them may well have failed in terms of checking whether the prices were right or not. Treasury also played a key role in making sure that the malfeasance is not as widespread as it could have been. So many efforts were made, but there was still failure of the system, which is exactly what we are now going to correct. And correct it we shall, because we are determined to ensure that we obliterate corruption in our land. Thank you very much.